Hey you guys, this is your coach, Dr. Andrea Dickerson here, founder of IOwnADaycare.com, where we connect childcare business owners with proven management solutions. For today's proven management solution, I want to help childcare business owners get unstuck. If you've come to a certain place in your business where you feel like you're ready to go to the next level, but you also feel like you're stuck, your staff not getting with the program, they're not motivated, your classrooms are not as organized, your leadership team is saying we can grow, but we got to fix what's going on here first. If you've got these different areas of your life where you know you just need to tie up a few things so that you can move forward, then today's video is for you. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, stay tuned, and I'll be right back. If you can't leave your childcare business and return and your classrooms are organized, trust me, it is not your teachers, it's your systems. As a CEO, you want to put a standardized way of organizing your classrooms. Like pictured here, we have our alphabets, our circle time, and our numbers. Now this is a smaller preschool room, but you have to have systems in place as a CEO. Let me show you these systems. Now, when a person comes into our classroom, we have what we call the Jumpstart Your Day. So everything they need to run my classroom is here. Now, if you as a CEO have not created your videos so that your videos match your system so they can train on how to use your systems, trust me, it is not your teachers. It is because you don't have systems or a setup. Let me show you what a standardized setup look like. So welcome to my after school setup for childcare business owners. Now, as you can tell, look, check this out. This is a standard. Even in this room, we have alphabets, circle time, and numbers. It could look different, but the standard is in place. If you are having an aha moment by watching this video and you want me to help you, be sure to click the link in my bio, get these digital downloads, or even book a call for me to help you with your systems today. Thank you guys so much for staying along with me. I'm so excited. Welcome to our headquarters office where I am in my zone. And because I'm in my zone, today I want to share with you my story on how I can relate to what you may be feeling, experiencing, and what you're ready to get out of, which is feeling stuck, experiencing being stuck. And you're ready to get out of being stuck. So here are a few strategies that I had to use in order to get to that place. One of the stories I want to share with you are two incidents that really made me realize that I was stuck and that I was the reason why I was stuck. I know you probably want me to hand the book off to somebody else, like maybe your staff, or maybe you want me to hand the book off to, maybe it was the state, etc. Well, every person has an enemy. Every person has something that they have to deal with. And maybe it's your inner me, the way you think, that could be your enemy. Okay, girl, let me tell you what I mean. So I remember shifting my business to the next level and saying, oh, I'm about to grow. I'm about to take my business to the next level. Let me hire me a qualified team member. So this individual goes through my hiring process. I do the application. I do the background check. I get the copy of the certification. I let her go in and look at the classroom. I monitor her in the room. She come out. You like it? I like you. We like each other. Okay, you hired. I give her the rate that she asked for. We talk about what she will be evaluated on, making sure that she can do X, Y, Z. She gets started, she goes in the classroom, and she can handle the behavior. So I'm thinking I gotta win. Honey, about maybe, I would say about 3 to 6 months within her employment, somehow she said something so slick to me. And what she said to me made me really catch myself. I can't believe she just said that. And guys, I'm new as an employer. I never had nobody say this to me before. But what she said was, I don't have to give your business much. I could give your business very little and still get by. And when she said that, I had made a mental note of that. And I pondered on why, number one, she felt comfortable with saying that to an employer. Well, I was much younger than her. And so, I guess she was just calling rank or whatever. But then it made me realize, she might be right. She might be right because I never gave her any expectations. I was just relieved that I had somebody with a degree qualified to come into my preschool classroom. I never set the bar. I never set the expectations. I had no Ascension program that shows a person that I can hire you here, but by the end of 3 months, you should be here. Or by the end of 6 months, you should be here. Or by the end of 9 months, 12 months, etc., you should be here. So her delivering very little, she was right. What did I do? There was no expectations in place. And little did I know that my inability to lead a qualified team was making me feel stuck. I could have blamed that scenario on her. I could have been like, she ain't had to say that. She ain't this, she ain't that. You know how we do. And you know how I did. And did. I did. But the end of the day, wisdom spoke to me and said, you don't have what you need in place to be able to lead an A+ team. You need to get your processes in place. And guys, I heard myself say that, but I didn't take action. So it went on and on and on and on from the next employee to the next employee to the next employee to the next employee, that there was no Ascension program or teacher expectation, better yet, staff expectations in place. And that, my dear, can keep you stuck.
So what you want to do is to make
sure that you create an Ascension program. And so we call it our teacher training program, where we put a system in place on what you need to have in order to grow in our company and be recognized for growth. For example, many of you are getting written up because your team members can get started without having maybe CPR and first aid, but they got to have it within their first, 6 months of working. Well, you keep operating your business and time go by. Next thing you know, it's 7 months and they still don't have the CPR and first aid because you really don't have physical representation. So let's back up a bit. Now, I'm going to show you this picture right here up a bit. In my program, I have physical representation of where you are. This physical representation is color coded. So when you first enter into my program, you wear red. Red means you are anywhere between 0 to 90 days of your employment. And this really changed the game for me because in order for that person to not have on the red apron, they would have had to meet some criteria in order to ascend to the next color. Then the next color was blue. So then they would have to have all of the criteria for the red and the criteria for the blue if they were going to ascend to the next color, which was green. Then once they reach green, they will have to have all of the red, the blue, and the green criteria in order to ascend to the next color, which was yellow. Once you are no longer in colors, you are now my leadership team, and you can dress without having a uniform apron on. Now, this for us was the biggest game changer because it was a part of our communication system to parents. So they knew if someone was in the red apron, they don't have enough wisdom to be able to answer your question, and my company have to stand behind what they say. Now, the parents can ask what they want, but if they were in the red apron and you believe what they said, that's on you, because my policy was stated that only speak to the people in the green aprons, because these were the ones who have met the criteria and the training expectation that I have to be able to properly report back with our parents on certain subject matters. Now, I'm not talking about the basics. I'm talking about other certain subject matters that could impact parents complying with my company policies and procedures. So when I began to utilize this type of strategy, it changed the game for, number one, hiring A+ players. Number two, effective communication timelines. Number two, effective communication between parents, staff, and myself. So these are areas in my life where I realized by putting the proper systems and proper representation of systems in place that it helped me get unstuck. So next thing you know, little Miss Moya, I'm gonna call her name out because she know if she watching, she know I'm telling the truth. Little Miss Moya really helped me to succeed. She really blessed me because I'm sure had I not had her talk to me like that, I probably wouldn't recognize that the problem was me. So I fixed that problem and I was able to duplicate and have multiple locations and multiple different type businesses, all while owning and operating a successful childcare business. And she was not the last professional teacher that my company was able to hire. As a matter of fact, when I decided to retire, I had 2 degree teachers running that preschool program. So you can do it. You just got to take the lemons and turn it into lemonade, and the bricks that they throw at you to fail, you got to take and build with it. All right, here's number 2. Many of you feel stuck because you don't have a standard in place. And typically what happens is you can operate a business with your presence. You can operate a business without having to have a standard in place. You can operate a business without having the best trained team in place. You can really operate a business because in childcare, if you are in a high demand area, parents are going to come to you because childcare is in high demand. So what I'm about to tell you really doesn't mean that you won't have enrollment, because you can have enrollment but still be missing a standard, okay? So I have seen it where people are ultra successful. I'm talking about 7-figure childcare businesses. However, they are ready to grow, feel stuck, and their team is like, we can't grow on top of what's already going wrong here. Why open up the door for more confusion? Because if your classrooms don't have a standard now, you're only going to open up a door for more classrooms without a standard. So I remember when I would get to about 50 students, and yours may not be as little in students, but I remember when I would get to 50 students that my staff schedules would crumble, my staff morale would go down, productivity would not sustain. Going beyond 50, I just had a lot of areas that was just dropping the ball. The ball was being dropped. Admin, director, team. I mean, it was so many balls being dropped when we would hit this 50 student mark. Then I realized, like, I can't keep firing people. Let me figure out what the real challenge is. And I realized that my business only had systems in place that could be maintained while I was present. But in order for me to really have multiple locations and take my business to the next level, I needed to have a duplicatable model. So this is when I started bringing on my teachers and training them using a training system. We use what we call the staff quarterly agenda. And that staff quarterly agenda follows a complete training layout. So I didn't have to continuously guess in my mind what I need to train them on or what the format is for the training. I just followed my quarterly agenda. My staff followed the quarterly agenda. They took the quarterly agenda back in their classrooms, and I was able to empower my team. Not only did I learn about training my team better, but then I started having what we call a curriculum specialist. Someone who would go in and help make sure that the classrooms were being ran appropriately or closed out appropriately, or that the teachers had the items that they needed. I needed to duplicate me. I needed to bring on somebody who could help my team be sufficient and more proficient in their roles by being there for them, because I could no longer be that person. And by me supporting my team, training my team, and having the right company hierarchy with the curriculum specialist in place, that allowed me to get unstuck. Now, of course, this curriculum specialist just couldn't go in and do what she wanted to do. I had to have a plan. I had to have a standard. I had to have policy. I had to have tools. And by me doing all of what I needed to do, in less than no time, I was able to turn my business around and grow. Next thing you know, we got a full operating day shift, a full operating night shift, another childcare location, a nanny agency. I'm a published author, and I'm traveling the world coaching childcare business owners. And voila, there you have it. I didn't have to go into my business every day. My business was a business, and it ran without me. I was the CEO, the visionary, and I led my team into excellence. And so can you. Well, all right, you guys, maybe you all are saying, you know what, Coach, I really want to learn these systems. Well, there's an opportunity for you to learn these systems. You could go to the link that's posted below. You can click where you can come to a webinar, or you can come right to the physical school of systems and let me walk you through a full all-in-one program. But that is it for us today. And as always, remember, if you manage the childcare business that you love, you will love the childcare business that you manage. Bye, you guys.